Hey, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Jay Nye, the Towercrane guy, coming at you today. Welcome to another edition of Towercrane Television. I am your host, Jay Nye, Towercrane guy. We're back at it again, bright and early. We're going to unload a rebar truck, and we're getting ready to get this done. Just wanted to, I know it's short notice, so
Hey, good morning.
I actually didn't know we were doing a rebar truck this morning. I was just told to be here at 5 a.m. in the seat ready to go. So I had no idea we were doing a rebar truck. I thought we were hanging columns. So I'm gonna flip this camera around here in a minute. Put you guys here on the floor. Got the glass nice and clean for you this morning. Did all my PM this morning. You know, loving life, man. This is you know, the greatest job in the world. So if you don't know that by now, by my enthusiasm, then yeah, there's no job like this job. So I'm gonna take you guys off the dash here, off the LMI. I've got you placed on top of my LMI, and I'm gonna put you on the floor. We're gonna swing the crane around here, and we're gonna get going. It's a beautiful morning here in Charlotte. Put in a lot of hours this last week. So yes, sir, that'll work right there. So we're gonna get at it, and I'm gonna put you guys down here on the floor. So let's go. We're getting ready to get it. Here we go. Yes, sir, I'm away. Here we go, guys. So we're gonna put you. I think I'm gonna put you right here because the truck is out a little further to the alley. We'll get this light off, and we're gonna get going. Here we go. You wanting to pick that bag up in the front first? Let's see, a little better. Okay. And screwed around and swung too far. Here we go. What's my radius? I'm at 89. Okay, he's going to be about 153 feet out. Make sure my hook height's staying good. We got power lines right there that you guys can't see. So I can.
Alright, yeah, it's on just right there. Give me 20 feet pull down, buddy. 20 feet pull down.
10-4, boss. Should be about 153 out, I think, right here.
Alright, you can go 3 feet pull down, buddy. Now 3 feet pull down. Alright. Cable down right there, buddy. Cable down. 7 feet. Number 8. Number 6. Number 4. 2 more feet down. Alright, perfect, right there.
So yeah, this is going to be the first pick of the morning right here. We're going to grab this bag. It's just a bag of rebar, and we're going to get it pulled up here. And then we got that whole truck is just full of long rebar, and we're going to get it all pulled off here, put in place, get it all laid out and staged out. So hope everyone's having a great morning.
Alright, yeah, cable up, buddy. Cable up.
Here we go. First pick of the morning right here, guys. Here we go.
Alright. You got it, boss. Cable up. Cable up.
Good morning, Pancho. I hope you had a good weekend. Heading to your 9 o'clock, bud.
Yeah, you know. Dice que si tuviste un buen fin de semana. Yeah. Sí. He said he got a good weekend. He got too much beers and everything.
Sí, señor. Too many cervezas.
Yeah, he drank Corona and tequila thing.
Ay, ay, ay. These guys are a good group of guys. Real hard workers. Just all around good crew, man. They're always ready to work, always ready to get it done. Couldn't ask for a better crew. And that's on both ends. That's my rebar guys and my carpenters. So you know, like any crew, they make mistakes. I make mistakes. You know, we get through it as a team, and it's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be on a job where everybody's like spiteful and hateful, and it's just a bad setting. If you're in the live, man, drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, and I like the feedback. I like to know where other people are watching from. I get some people watch from overseas. I get some people watch from the States. So it's really cool to see all the different places everybody's watching from. So. So we got all our chokers on here, so we can start getting things strapped up, strung up, choked up, ready to go.
Alright, Jason, let's start from where you picked up at.
10-4, boss. 10-4. So with the luffer, you know, I'm booming down as I'm turning here, and I'm hitting my zone a little bit. I'm zoned out on certain parts, and zoning out is when the crane actually shuts off. It doesn't allow you to swing. It doesn't allow you to boom. And so I have a zoning because there's power lines over here. So the crane, I have to be real careful about how far I boom down as I'm turning because the crane will shut off. That's fine if you're empty. You don't want that happening under a load. What will happen is it'll cause depending on how heavy the load is and how long it is or whatever, it'll cause a tremendous amount of pendulum swing. And you don't want to do that because it creates a whole nother dimension of work for yourself. These guys could give two shits less, and I don't blame them. I mean, it's not their job to do my job. But you just create a bunch of pendulum swing for yourself when you hit that zoning. So you want to know where your zoning is, and you want to try to stay out of that zoning, so you're not having your crane shut down.
Perfect, right there. Table off.
When you're getting, like, when you're far out like this, I'm 160 feet out, so there we go. Hey, tell him thank you for turning those lights off. That helped tremendously. Or turning the lights on, sorry. Yeah, that helped a bunch, him turning those on. Hey, Chone, tell him to turn him back on. Tell him to turn him back on, I meant. Yeah, it helps if he has those on. Tell him to turn them on, please. Anyway, so yeah. Oh yeah, that helps a bunch.
Alright, this is what I say.
I don't know if you guys can, like, see. Can you see that? That's what we're trying to look at here. Yeah, I guess you can see. So we're out there at the semi, which is way out there. Where my finger is. Not way out there, but down a little further. So just waiting on him to get everything strapped up, and then we'll get moving all that stuff here pretty soon. I don't know why it's been doing that. Like, it's been locking out my privacy settings on my lives to private when I set them on the when I set them on the when I set it up on my GoPro, I have it set up for public, so I don't know why it is doing that. Actually in my app right now trying to make sure that it's not private, but I'm pretty sure it probably is until,
Alright, yes, okay, well, I'll give you
until
money.
I'm done with the video. So. Alright, here we go.
Okay, well, I'll give you money.
It says it's public.
Okay, well, I'll give you money.
10-4, boss, 10-4.
Right, thank you, John. Thank you, people. Okay, give us all the put one more jumper in these one. They have a road bar. Alright, good brilliant. Thank you, people, right there. Alright, okay, hold on, Jason. Is there one more? Yeah, okay, hold on. Alright. Alright, okay, well, Jason. Easy up.
I'm just going to take it nice and easy until he tells me we're clear. That's it. I'm going to take off. Radius up to about 100 feet, and then I can start swinging pretty easily because I'm clearing everything. So I'm clearing all my lockout, my zoning, all that. So we'll start dropping it down a little bit. We got a hook height of about 138 right now. I'm good at about 100 feet for clearance, so get my hook height down because I'm going to start booming up when I get to him, and as I'm booming up, it's going to create more hook height. So it's a rhythm. So, and I don't want to cable down too fast because if I do, it creates that pendulum swing that we talked about, which will actually push the load out. So a kind of want to keep the cable. I want to keep my lower just at a smooth, steady speed. So they're gonna get it in place where they want it. Whenever you got funky pieces like what's on the hook right now, it's 3 pieces and they're all different like links, and they're like so weird shapes. So that's the way rebar usually goes. If it's real big pieces, they'll do like 2 bundles together, or they'll use all 4 hooks, and yeah. They have what they call Christmas trees. So sometimes they're Christmas tree loads, and it'll be 3 bundles of rebar, and they'll all be, you'll have short chains. You'll have your first set of chains will be extended all the way out, and then your second set of chains will be choked up about 4 lengths, maybe 6 to 8, and your next ones will be choked up about 10 to 12, and it creates like a Christmas tree, and it goes from longest to shorter. It creates like a Christmas tree. I call it a pyramid. Most of the guys call it Christmas trees, but it looks just like a pyramid, and it's pretty cool doing those. Yeah, I mean you're really knocking out 3. You knock out 3 picks in one, so 3 picks and 3 sets all in one time. So it's pretty cool. So we're at a radius right now of 87 on my boom. So I'm going to remember that number. Remember that they're bringing a lot of this smaller stuff there. My hook height's about 63 to the ground, so I know that when I'm about 70, I'm getting close. So I know when at the front of that truck we're about 158 out on the radius. So as I'm booming down, I'm gonna start booming down and get to my 100 as I'm turning, and I'm gonna get to my 100. This way I know I'm clearing all my zoning, which will lock me out. I'm about 102 right now. 10 for same spot. So as I clear my lockout zone, which would be to shut the crane down, so because I'm going out of my zone, as soon as I clear that zone, I'm gonna start booming out, or I'm sorry, booming down, and getting to my 158 radius, which would put me at the front of the truck again. I see your comment there. Just give me 1 second to read it. As soon as I get to him and he gets strapped up, we'll check that comment out real fast. So yeah, I'm slowing down my swing. I'm slowing down my boom tremendously because I don't want a bunch of counter swing. I don't want those cables whipping around too long.
Alright, Jason, give me another 5 feet, buddy. Another 5 feet.
So, and it'll end up being 10 feet. 158 was his number before.
Let's go right there. Okay, hold on.
So yeah,
Got it, buddy.
right at 158.
Yeah, hold on. You're out of cable on, buddy. You go right there. Alright, so cable.
Oh, let's see. Okay, that's pretty cool. New Zealand, huh? Good morning. I think after I get my 10-year mark here in the States, I'm really considering going overseas and doing some work maybe in Ireland or maybe New Zealand. But there's different licensing and different codes in different countries. My only concern, like, I would love to go work in like Japan or like Tokyo, maybe Russia. I mean, I would love to go over those other countries and run a tower crane, just because of the different complexities of those jobs, and it's just different atmosphere. You know, it's being around different people and different trades, but the only concern is I can never make the money I do over there that I make here. It would never happen. I think tower crane operators get paid more money over here in the States than they do in other countries. Because it just gives you a different aspect of what you can learn. You know, they're building stuff different in other countries. I mean, it's along the same lines, but I'm sure there's some different qualities to it, and maybe worse, maybe better. I have no idea. You know, I've never worked anywhere but the States, so I'd be curious to see it. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube of other guys in other countries, like in France, and I got some guys that are over in the UK, and I have some friends over in I have some friends over in Ireland, so I was actually offered a job over there, and it's a lot of, you know, I'm not just gonna hop on a plane and go to another country. I want to take my stuff with me and live comfortably, and you know, have your amenities. Plus, I got dogs and a wife, and yeah, I mean, if we were ever to do something like that, I want to be able to take all our stuff with us and be able to spend some time over there and enjoy the country, you know. But maybe someday. Right now, I'm happy where I'm at. And company I work for is really, really good company. Treats you really, really good. So. Seems like we have multiple things of rebar on here. Let's see what they got. Just picking it nice and slow. We got guys on the trailer, so I want to be real careful until I can get clearance from him that we're good.
Right.
Continue forward. Getting my radius once again to about 100. This way I know I'm clearing my zoning. About 106, it's probably good. I'm probably gonna have to boom up just a little further because I think he's about 68 feet out on my radius for a landing. So yeah, that's probably about, well, yeah, about 86. So let's keep it 86, see where it lands. I don't know if he's wanting to go back over there or not. Yeah, that's where he wants to go, so I'm gonna start cabling down. We're about 145 in the air with the hook height. Just kind of bring it down to him gently. Give him a little boom up so he's not pulling on the tagline so hard. And once it sets, I'm going to give him a little swing to the left. There we go. Sun's starting to come up. A little bit chilly until that sun gets all the way up. Yeah, 6:02. Another hour before my other crew comes in. I'll be here at 7. So I'm hoping to get this truck unloaded pretty quick. No, I'm a full-time operator.
Are you going to be in the back of the truck?
10-4 boss. Yeah, none of the dogmen, none of the signalmen here, they run the crane. We had a safety meeting not too long ago, and I tried to explain to them about crane dynamics and how their crane works and what happens when you pull on the tagline and when you pull too hard, you know, and it's always good to give them that information. Whether they use it or not is a whole nother story, but these guys have been very, very willing to learn what I'm telling them and explaining to them. They're just very open to wanting to know, hey, how does that work? How does this work? Why does it do this? You know, why do you overswing sometimes? And you know, and I tell them, I'm like, I'm overswinging because I'm trying to catch the load. You know, a lot of times you're trying to do that, you know, before you get there, so you don't overswing. But sometimes it's unstoppable. Sometimes you have to overswing a little bit. Sometimes you got to boom down a little further. Sometimes you got to boom down a little less. You know, it's all about what's on the end of the hook. And a lot of your pendulum swing comes into play with length of cables, you know, or length of, for one, the length of the, for one, the length of the cable that's on your block. I'm sitting right at about I'm sitting at about almost 400 feet of cable from the top of the jib to the block at any given time. 350, 400, and then you put 30 foot of chain on top of that, and then whatever straps, if they're using cable chokers, they're usually pretty short, but if they're using nylon straps, I mean, they're using 15, 18. They're using 15, 18 foot nylon straps. So you know, that can create a bunch of pendulum swing as well, especially if they've got a really small load, like 15 foot nylon straps. It's just ridiculous. You know, you got 30 foot of chain, you got at least 12 foot of nylon strap hanging and maybe 3 foot around the whatever load they're trying to pick up. I mean, you're talking 40, 45 feet of chain and strap. And it creates, and especially if the load's light, it just creates a hell of a pendulum swing, no matter how slow you go. You know, it's any little jerk of the crane will just create a bunch of swing in it. And, try to get them to understand that a little better. You know, a lot of these guys have a one-track mind, and they get tunnel vision, and they don't want to go get another set of straps to make it easier for the crane operator, and they wonder why they're standing there watching the load kind of pendulum swing back and forth, and it's because they have so much stuff hanging off that block, you know, off that hook. And I try to get them to understand that. I've got a 1-ton hook, or 1-ton block. On the end of that, I got a 1-ton block, which is attached to that hook. And most loads on this job are under $2,000. I mean, they're not 2,000 pounds. Even this rebar I'm picking right now is not 2,000 pounds, you know, unless they double it or triple it up. But you know, load of rebar might be, you know, 1,200, 1,500 pounds. But if they double it, you know, or triple it, then we're looking at, you know, some weight there. When you got a block that's 2,000 pounds and you're picking up loads that are, you know, under $1,000, you're as an operator, you're not as an operator, you're not you're controlling the block. You're not controlling the load at that point. All you're doing is controlling the block, and the load is going for the ride because the block is heavier than the load. So something like this has got some weight to it, so I'm able to control the pendulum swing a little better because I'm really controlling the load at that point. I'm not controlling the block so much. If they were to put 20-foot chains on the end of this hook, 20-foot chain bridles, it would be a lot better. There wouldn't be so much pendulum, but we've had this discussion, and they just don't want to change it up. They want to use the 30-foot. 30-foot chains are what you use for. 30-foot chain bridles are what you use for pulling tables, you know. So I don't know why they want to use such long chains, but it took a little adjusting. I've always used 20-foot chain bridles, so I've used 30-foots for tables, you know, never for picking loads back to back with. So it took a little getting used to. I just had to adjust my operating skills a little bit. It's just that with a 30-foot chain and you're picking up everything with 30-foot chains, any little movement in the crane will create pendulum swing on those 30-foot chains. So where 20-foots are not as bad. 20-foot chains, you can really control the load pretty well with 20-foot chains. So over in New Zealand, do your dogmen run cranes as well? Do they like fill in for you if you want to take time off, or how does that work? Because I'm assuming if you're asking me that question, then your dogmen over there fill in for you or something, or maybe run cranes. I'm assuming that.
Okay, so it's like people, sit right there. Give me 120 feet from the money. Hey, in this big, I need your help to pull him off around the bundle so I can put all the choker in money.
10-4, boss. Right where you're standing? Is that where you want to put the first choker?
Yes, sir.
10-4.
Alright, okay, well, give me 1 knot, let 11 more. Alright. Okay, yeah, so you move right there. Give me, cable on. Cable on. Cable. Right, Jason. Okay, walk, buddy. Just walking.
So nice and easy for him. He's gonna pick it up. I'm actually just picking up one end for him here. I'm gonna allow him to go ahead and
Okay, walk easy, buddy.
get his choker underneath that other side.
Alright, think it's good there. Right, Jason, cable on, buddy. Cable on, right there.
Wow. So how many hours are you getting a week? Is it half days every day, or is it half days on the weekend, or like on a Saturday, or is it half days every day? I mean, how? So I guess the grand question is, how many hours a week are you guys putting in over in New Zealand?
Right, you cable on a little bit more, Jason. Alright.
And it's nothing for an operator over here to put in 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 hours a week. Easy. Just depends. I mean, if you want time off, you can request time off, and you know, they can come fill, someone can come fill in for you or something, but it depends on you, man. You know, if you want to work that, you can, and if you don't want to, you can request time off and stuff, but every country is different. I mean, like I said, you know, over here we can pretty much write your own paycheck over here. You want to work those kind of hours, you can work them. And if you don't, you probably don't want to be taking too much time off, because you definitely won't have a seat. You know, they'll find somebody else that wants to put in the time. That one's got a little weight on it. You can actually hear the boom making a little bit of chatter. So, not really chatter. It's just you can hear it strain a little bit because it's picking up some weight. That's how I know it's a little bit heavier than usual without even looking at my LOI. Wow, 65 hours a week, huh? Oh wow! So you're doing both things. So you're a signal person, a dogman of what you guys call it over there. You're a dogman half the day, and you're operating half the day. Yeah, I have a rig sig card. I only have it because I want to make sure these guys are doing their job correctly. I've never been on the ground using it. I did rig and sig for a number of years before I ever. I did rig and signal for a number of years, dogman, on the ground for many years before I ever operated a crane. But after I got my crane license, I'm not gonna. After I got my crane license, I'm not. Yeah, I couldn't do that. That's just me. If I'm gonna run a crane, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna half day it in the crane, half day on the ground. I mean, that's kind of cool though. You actually have crane operators that are actually giving you your signals, so they know exactly what you need. Where these guys have never ran a crane, so they kind of know what you need, but not giving you like signals like an operator would. So that's, yeah, hats off to you guys over there for that. I can appreciate that, because there's times I wish that these guys actually have known how to operate a crane, and it would make it so much easier for them to give me signal, because the signals would be more direct, like a crane operator wants, you know. Because over here you end up having growing pains. You know, you're trying to get these guys to understand how you need stuff heard, how they need to speak the lingo to you, so you have a better understanding of what they need. So by the time that we're fully in the blind with these guys, they will have given me all the signal that I need, because we've went through the growing pains already of, hey, don't do that, please do this. Like I said, I've worked with some crews that are really resilient. They're really easy to get along with, and they're really willing to listen to you. And then I've had other crews that are so... I've had crews that just, you don't tell me how to signal their crane, and it's like, well, then you don't tell me how to do my job either. So, because they'll want to tell you how to do your job, and you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, I'll do all that if you give me the right signal, you know. So that's pretty neat. You guys actually have crane operators actually signaling the crane. That definitely makes things go a lot smoother, damn sure. So yeah, I can't remember the last time I worked 6 to 5 hours. I mean, maybe at the beginning of the job, where it's just kind of taking off, and things are kind of showing up and getting put in place, and you're kind of getting your laydown yard ready, and yeah, maybe 55, 60 hours. But after that, yeah, it's nonstop. We have a few cranes here, a few other luffers here that are on 24-hour shifts. So the one operator will work 12 hours, and then the other operator will come in and work 12 hours. And it's just on a 24-hour rotation. It's non-stop. The crane is running non-stop. The job is running non-stop. So we're not doing that here on my job, but there's other jobs that are doing that. So. And I'm kind of I'm a little fussy ass. I don't want nobody in my crane, man. Did you say hold it?
Yeah,
10-4, boss. 10-4. Make sure I'm hearing you right. Yeah, I don't want nobody in my crane. You know, I don't want someone coming here and adjusting my stuff, and I'm just real fussy like that. So I like things a certain way, and I've had operators come in and fill in for me, or you know, I had an emergency come up, or I had to have another operator come in and fill for me, or something, fill in for me, and you know, some operators don't respect the way you run your crane. They don't respect the way you have your crane set up. They don't. You know, they leave all kinds of mud and trash, and it becomes a pretty big deal when you got guys that just want to be disrespectful to the way that you have your crane set up. I'm very meticulous. My crane is spotless. It's you know, I got to be up here every day, so. You want it as clean as possible, running as smooth as possible. I keep up on all my maintenance. I kind of overdo my maintenance, and there's no such thing really as overdoing it. You know, my crane stays very well greased. The cables are very well greased. I'm always doing thorough inspections on my crane every single morning. If we've had a really rough day where the crane has just been non-stop running, I'll do another thorough inspection before I leave. I mean, I'm very thorough about it. And keeps the, you know, last thing you want to do is call your boss and have him coming out and sending a crew out here because you decide to slack off on your inspection and your maintenance. You know, it's your job as a crane operator to lubricate the crane and take care of the crane. It's your crane. You know, your technicians and your maintenance crew are just there to assist you when something catastrophic happens. If you don't have the mindset and the willingness to take care of your equipment, well, your equipment will never take care of you. So you always want to make sure you're taking very, very good care of your equipment. Thank you, I appreciate that. I mean, you know, there's guys that come up here, you know, that would come up here and be like, man, this thing is just set up, and but I don't like this or I don't like that, and they're moving stuff around and they're nitpicking your stuff, and you know, you come back and things are moved, or you know, your curtains are down, or they've moved something, or it's just more adjustment you have to do. You know, you have your crane set up a certain way so you can work comfortably and efficiently. So what works for me may not work for somebody else. You know, it's all about your comfort level. The more comfortable you are in your crane, I think the better you work. Your mindset is more on the job, not, hey, I need to adjust this, or I need to fix that, or you know, you're constantly having to adjust things on the fly and stuff, and you don't want to be doing that. You know, you want to have your stuff set up the way you want it. Make things convenient. You know, I've got phone holders, cup holders, I have my curtains, I have my amenities that make the job easier for me. What my amenities for me may not be amenities for somebody else. You know, I know operators that have to have every single window open with no curtains, no block out of the sun. They want the sun beaming in on them. They want to be able to see everything. And you got guys like me that I want everything blocked out. I don't want the heat of the sun causing a bunch of strain on my air conditioning, for one. I have a window here where I can see everything that I need to do. I don't need to see the outside world and what the hell's going on across the street and what's going on in the building, you know, 5 miles away. I don't care to see any of that. I just care to look at the job and do my job and accomplish my goal. So
come here, come back. Come here right here from the back, sir.
Yes, sir. 10-4. You know, that's where I'm at with it. But that's me. Some people like to see the whole world around them. So, and like I said, to each his own. You know, to each their own. Yes, sir.
Come up a little way and you swing right there. You're going to swing right there. All right, okay, hold on, buddy. Okay, hold on. All right, let me cable. Yes, okay, walk easy, buddy. Easy up. Okay, walk easy, buddy.
Get taut on those lines. I'm going to boom up just a touch. It's a little bit heavy rebar. I'm doing that to keep the pendulum swing from going out. So it picks straight up, just like it did. Straight up. I'm going to hit our 100-foot radius so I can get a full swing without hitting my zoning. 100 about 99 right there. That'll work. We'll start cabling down. We're about 134 in the air off the hook height, so you gotta add the chains to that too, you know. Just gonna bring her down a little bit, and I'm gonna boom her up a little bit. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm gonna get you guys some. I like doing all these different videos of different angles and stuff. So I know everybody doesn't want to see inside the cab and watch me work. I know everybody doesn't want to look down at the ground the whole time. I mean, so I try to mix it up. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. I really enjoy it. I enjoy doing these videos for you guys and letting you get to see the aspect of what a tower crane operator has to go through and the enjoyment of it. You know, I enjoy doing it. So like I said, it's the greatest job in the world. There's no job like this job. None.
Right in the middle of the truck, buddy. Right in the middle of the truck.
10-4, middle of the truck.
Alright, so everyone give me a little bit more pull down, buddy. Alright, perfect right there. Let's go.
Good morning, all. Good morning. Good morning.
Alright, give it up, Jason. Give it up, easy, buddy. Is we cables on that way? Just on that way. Alright. Alright, cable up, easy way? Easy up.
So I'm gonna boom up a little bit just to get the chains taut. That'll give me my resistance for the pendulum swing. And as I cable up, we're gonna watch it just stand straight up. We don't want it to swing out. You got guys standing at the edge of the trailer right there, so you want it just nice and smooth. So it's starting to pendulum out just a little bit, so I'm gonna boom up just a touch. Make sure we're clear of everybody before we go cabling up crazy. As soon as he says I'm good.
Alright,
I'm gonna hit my 100-foot radius and get to swinging. And I do that because I've got a zoning that will lock me out anything past like 115, 118, 115, something like that on my radius. So about 106, it should be good. Got big power lines down there, so going across the parking lot, which you guys probably can't see, but I'm gonna boom up just a little more because our radius is gonna be about 86 feet. And I'm gonna cable down as I'm doing that because, as you know, when you boom up, you cable up. So bringing the cable down, nice and smooth, nice and smooth. We're about 83 feet right there, 81. I'm slowing down my swing. It's gonna pendulum out just a little bit. No big deal. Because as soon as it comes back, I'm going to boom up to catch it. So, and I'm going to stop my cable, stop my swing, boom up a little bit. As I'm booming up, I'm cabling down just to catch that pendulum. I'm going to bring it down easy to him. Now we got a long piece hanging out there. So I'm watching that elevator core. Because now it's going to interfere. The elevator core is going to interfere just a little bit, but I see my opening right there, and that's when I cable down. Cable down just a little bit quick, enough for him to catch the tag line. I'm still cabling down slow because I still have an open window right there. Now, we have wall forms down there, and he's got you got a core down there too. You got two cores, so we're trying to make room between those. So I'm going to give him a little boom down, just a touch, and I'm going to give him a little swing to the left too. Not too much, not too much. Just give them a little boom down because now we're trying to clear those wall forms as I cable down. So I'm booming down and cabling down kind of at the same time, just a little bit. See that window? I'm going to cable down just a little faster. Oh, what's he doing? So he's pulling on it, so I'm kind of waiting. Okay, giving me the signal. Just like that. You always want to be a helpful operator. You don't want to be a pain in the ass. You know, sometimes when these guys are not doing things the way I need them to do them, I will slow things down and wait for every single signal. Most of the time though, and this is a majority of the time, I'm trying to be as helpful as possible. If I know the next signal is going to be cable down, or the next signal is going to be, you know, boom down or boom up or swing a little bit to the left, you're already doing those things because you're trying to be a helpful operator. The more helpful you are, the better. The smoother things go, man. The less tension there is on the job site between signalmen or dogmen in other countries and the operator, the better things go. It can get frustrating working with a crew that has no clue what they're doing. And unfortunately, in the construction world, you're going to get a lot of people that think they know what they're doing, but they really don't. And you just got to be super cautious, man. You got to be super cautious on your toes. You got to be watching your every move. Sometimes you're a paid babysitter, you know, and that's just the nature of the game, man. It's the nature of the beast. And as long as you're doing your job 110%, man, there's nothing anybody can say. You know, as long as you know you're giving it your all, there's nothing no one can really say to you. Because people's lack of respect for the job on the ground and people's lack of experience will truly show. You know, we're doing the same repetitive thing over and over and over again. So if they're not doing their job to their full potential 100% and you are, people will always see that they're not giving it their all, because when you have a signal person or a rigger that's really giving it 110%, and you got a guy that isn't, they'll see that. They'll be like, man, I got no problem with the operator. They'll be like, I have no problem with the operator getting what I need done. Why are you having a problem? Because you know they're on the ground. Sometimes they're on the ground bitching about the operator. Well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that. But then you'll have another person say, he does everything perfect for me, so it's got to be you. You know, those are situations you run into as an operator. You can't please everybody. You know, and you got people that do their job 110% and give you a great signal, and they rig everything up good, and then you got guys that want to half-step everything, and they rely on you to fix their mistakes. And you know, I always tell them, I can't do your job and mine, and if I could, I'd make a lot more money. You know, if I could run down, if I could Superman it down to the ground and rig your, you know, load up for you, and then Superman it back up to the crane, you know, I'd make your paycheck and mine. So, and that's not being rude, it's being truthful. You know, an operator can never do the ground person's job, and a ground person can never do the operator's job. And like I said, that's just here in the States. From what I read in New Zealand, you guys are doing both. You know, you guys are being dogmen or signalmen on the ground half the day, and then you're being operators half the day. And more power to you guys.
All right,
I see the irony in that, as far as like the good quality of it, because you have crane operators that are giving signal. Me personally, I wouldn't want to do that. I strictly want to be in the crane. So we're gonna give them a little boom up here. I did cable back down as I started to tighten up, and I'm gonna boom up until it gets taut. And I see the block just kind of swing, and the load's just kind of coming up. And I'm doing this to keep the load from pendulating out. It's standing straight up, so we're going to take off with it. I'm going to get my hook height at about 95, because as I'm booming up, the hook height's going to raise. We were at like 152 on the radius. I need to hit my 100-foot radius in order to get my swing without the lockout and the zoning. If anybody that doesn't know, zoning is when the crane shuts down because you're zoned out of your zone. So I'm gonna start swinging right now. We're about 114. It's good enough. I'm about 135 on the hook height. I'm gonna drop my hook height down at about 100 feet, 110 feet. I'm good for clearing power lines, so I'm good there. We're about 120 on the hook height. I'm gonna drop the hook height down. I'm gonna actually boom up a little bit as I'm doing that, because I know my radius right there is about 86 to set. So I'm booming up, I'm slowing down my swing, looking at my radius. Radius is good at about 87. Slowing down my swing. I'm going to catch all that pendulum. Now I'm going to start cabling down. As I do, I'm going to boom up just a little bit as I'm cabling down. Catching pendulum swing. Watching that elevator core. Listen for his signal to tell me I'm clear. If I'm clear, I'm gonna bring it down to him a little faster. He's saying a little bit more, so I'm gonna bring it down. I'm holding cable like requested. See, he wants a boom down, but it's actually the pendulum swing is gonna boom it down. I'm gonna boom down just a little bit as I cable down. You know, you're looking at your dunnage and where everything is, your wood, and where you want to set. So he wants to go ahead and set it in between all that rebar, which is fine, or he's going to pull it over. I don't know yet, so I usually take it a little bit slower just to see what he wants to do. You know, some guys will tell you, hey, I'm going to set it in between all this, or they'll wait till the very end till I get right there and they'll pull it over, you know. So you just kind of got to read, you got to read your guys on the ground and how they want to do things. All right, so he's wanting a little more boom down, obviously. He's pulling on the load. So I'm gonna accommodate him with some boom down. Like I said, sometimes they don't tell you, you know. So now we do got a couple more picks left on this truck, and for that I am going to put you guys up here where you can kind of watch what I'm doing and see what I'm doing, and yeah, let's just do that. And that'll be it for this one. Not yet. I'm just going to put you guys up here and let you kind of see how I'm operating the crane. And that's good enough up there. Gives you a pretty good view right through what you can see.
Hey, what up? gonna be up front, Jason. Be up front.
So radius will be about
Right here where my
158 out there. We're about 101 right now, just to clear the zoning. And then I'm gonna start booming down. I'm trying to slow my swing down a little bit. It's got a little bit of pendulum going on.
Alright, you pull down a little bit more. Jason, pull down a little bit more.
You ever hear the term sometimes slower?
Alright, down, Jason.
You ever hear the term sometimes slower is faster? So when it comes to like the finessing of my boom, like doing these trucks, knowing that I'm kind of close to a zone out.
Oh yeah,
So you always want to go a little slower when you're getting to those points, because last thing you want is the crane to zone out. It'll just completely lock down, and you don't want that block doing this. You know, the block is this way on a luffer, and it's this way on a hammerhead or flat top. So when the block is this way, you know, literally push out like this. Where if you're on a flat top and the block is this way, well, you're catching more of the pendulum swing left to right. When the block is this way, you're catching more pendulum swing out and in. So it's gonna be the last pick for this truck. A little bit chilly until that sun gets up there. It was warm when I got on here this morning. So again, I think just a little bit boom up.
Give me pull down a little bit more. Alright, let's go like this. Hey, Bob, you give me? What's up? You got it? You want? Necesito dos cables nada más, de los pequeños. Sí, tenemos.
We got one more bit. This is one more strip of rebar I've seen on the truck. Again, watching my radius, watching my hook height. As you boom down, you lose hook height. About 100 right there. Middle of the trailer right there with that one. So about one, it'll be about 140 something.
Right in, 20 minutes, cable on. Number 10, number 8, 6, 4, 3, number 2.
So just about at the end here. It's going to be it for this rebar truck. This is going to be our last pick for this rebar truck. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, I've been trying to get more live videos for you guys and just put some other content out there for you. If you haven't done it yet, go over to TikTok. You're going to look up, it's called Towercranes, all lowercase letters, lower hyphen, hot rods. That's another page we have. Again, it's Towercranes, all lowercase, lower hyphen, hot rods at TikTok. And then, of course, we have this channel here, Towercrane Television. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Remember, if it doesn't make dollars, it sure the hell doesn't make sense. You're only as good as your last pick, and we will see you guys on the next pick. I hope everyone has a great, productive, positive day. We'll see you guys. Peace out.
Right, Hazel, cable off, easy money. Easy up. Right, Hazel, comes up, buddy. Good. Stay well, buddy. Thumbs up. Got it.